In some of the world's most corrupt cities, corruption isn't ever hidden. It's an everyday daily life, affecting everything from business deals to justice. In these places, walking a straight path can feel impossible, as the influence of power and greed crushes dreams, leaving hope as a rare, accessible only to the privileged. Yet this isn't just a story of corruption. It's also about the resilience of ordinary people who, despite the odds, strive to bring about change. Even in the darkest places, there's a determination to fight for something better, proving that the human spirit can shine even in the toughest circumstances. In 2013, in the heart of Istanbul, Gezi Park, a small green space amidst the city's urban landscape, was on the brink of being demolished. In response, a group of protesters decided to stand their ground, armed with their phones and a strong sense of justice. They sought to reclaim their dignity, democracy, and future. So buckle up. We're about to embark on a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about corruption, power, and the strength of the human will. Are you ready to see how everyday heroes are rewriting the rules of the game? Let's jet across the globe to Bangalore, India. Picture a city where bribes are as common as morning coffee. Frustrating, right? But in 2010, a group of fed-up citizens decided to flip the script. They created the I Paid a Bribe campaign, an online platform where people could anonymously report corruption. Suddenly, the corrupt had nowhere to hide. Over 200,000 reports flooded in, each one a testament to the courage of ordinary people standing up to injustice. And the result? Scandals uncovered, officials suspended, and a ripple effect that spread to cities across India and beyond. Corruption is so normalized that it's almost expected. A 2019 study found that nearly 80% of Indians viewed bribery as a part of life. This cultural acceptance makes it difficult to combat corruption, as both givers and takers see it as a necessary evil to navigate the complexities of the system. The Vyapam scam in Madhya Pradesh, where officials, politicians, and middlemen were involved in manipulating entrance exams for medical colleges, exemplifies how deep-rooted and systemic corruption can become. The slow pace of India's judicial system further perpetuates corruption. The 1992 Harshad Mehta stock market scam, which involved fraudulent stock manipulation, took nearly 2 decades to reach a conclusion. The delay in justice not only allows culprits to evade punishment, but also discourages whistleblowers from coming forward, fearing a long and arduous legal battle. However, India is witnessing a growing collective effort to tackle corruption, driven by various reforms and initiatives. The Right to Information, RTI Act, has empowered citizens to demand transparency, revealing several high-profile scandals. Anti-corruption movements, such as the one led by Anna Hazare, did actually lead to legislative changes. These aren't merely facts on paper. They're the heartbeats of movements that are reshaping cities and challenging the status quo. In Caracas, Venezuela, where over 75% of people live in poverty, Caracas is plagued by corruption due to a combination of political instability, economic crisis, and weak institutions. Yes, it was once a beacon of promise. Now it's ground zero for the devastating effects of unchecked corruption. In the 2018 presidential election, international observers and opposition groups alleged widespread fraud and irregularities. Reports indicated that the government engaged in vote rigging and intimidation tactics to secure a win for Nicolas Maduro. What about healthcare in Caracas? It's become a luxury that many can't afford. Hospitals stand as mere shells, lacking even the most basic supplies. Education? Once a pathway to a brighter future, now it's a crumbling system of classrooms filled with broken dreams. But why? Because a corrupt system has siphoned off funds meant for public services, leaving the people to fend for themselves. Over 75% of Venezuelans now live in poverty, according to Transparency International and the World Bank. Each statistic represents a shattered dream, a family struggling to survive. And the ripple effects? They're felt far beyond Caracas. This humanitarian crisis sends waves of emigration, altering global dynamics and trade. It's a stark reminder that in our interconnected world, corruption anywhere affects us all. The Caracas government has been known to suppress political opposition. Opposition leaders and activists have faced harassment, arrest, and unfair legal proceedings, often orchestrated by government-controlled institutions. This suppression is intended to silence dissent and consolidate power, further perpetuating the cycle of corruption. Let's jet over to Port-au-Prince, Haiti, a city still reeling from the 2010 earthquake, where corruption has turned rebuilding efforts into a nightmare. Billions were pledged in aid, a lifeline for a country desperate to rise from the ashes. Mismanaged funds and empty promises have only deepened the chasms of poverty and social unrest. Can you hear the whispers of discontent growing louder? When basic public services fail, unrest isn't just possible, it's inevitable. In recent years, local government officials in Port-au-Prince have been implicated in embezzlement scandals. For instance, in 2021, a local audit revealed that substantial amounts of funds intended for community development projects were embezzled by municipal officials. These funds were meant to improve local infrastructure, but ended up being misappropriated for personal gain. Now for in Rio de Janeiro, the militias, armed criminal groups, play a formidable role in shaping the city's socio-political landscape. These groups not only engage in illegal activities, but also infiltrate local politics and businesses. The reputation of Rio de Janeiro has negatively affected its global image as a tourist destination. Scandals like those involving the mismanagement of funds for the 2016 Olympics have raised concerns about transparency and reliability, deterring potential visitors. Ongoing issues with local governance and public services further damage the city's reputation. Now let's talk about Chicago. Chicago, known for its iconic skyline, deep dish pizza, and rich history. But behind the city's vibrant facade lies a troubling legacy of corruption that has shaped its political and economic landscape. For the fourth year in a row, Chicago is America's most corrupt city, and Illinois is the third most corrupt state, according to a new report from the University of Illinois at Chicago. One of the most notorious cases is Operation Greylord. This FBI investigation exposed rampant corruption within the Chicago judiciary. Judges were found accepting bribes to influence their rulings, leading to numerous convictions and a dramatic loss of public confidence in the legal system. The scandal highlighted severe issues within the city's judicial institutions and set a precedent for future investigations. A major contributor to Chicago's corruption is its long-standing political patronage system. This system, notably under Mayor Richard J. Daley, involved rewarding political allies with government jobs and contracts. This culture of favoritism created an environment where loyalty often overshadowed merit, fostering widespread corruption that has lingered long after Daley's tenure. Let's explore Manila, Philippines, a city that, despite its lively culture and economic potential, struggles with significant corruption issues. The enforcement of laws in Manila is often weak, allowing corruption to flourish. For instance, in 2019, it was reported that local officials were involved in the illegal operation of casinos and gambling dens. The lack of effective oversight and enforcement allowed these activities to continue unchecked. Moreover, high levels of economic inequality and poverty exacerbate corruption. According to a 2019 World Bank report, approximately 21% of the Philippine population lives below the national poverty line. In impoverished areas of Manila, residents frequently resort to bribery to access essential services, such as medical care or housing. This widespread desperation contributes to a cycle of corruption, as both residents and officials engage in corrupt practices to navigate systemic issues. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, you can do like, share, and subscribe. See you next video.